Good morning, Amani. We're doing something a little different today. We don't have our live stream person, so I'm just using my phone. So thank you for being with us, and I'm going to turn it over to Lorene to do the gong.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, Amani Center. We're here to celebrate Easter Sunday.
Woohoo!
Please stand and sing with Ascension.
Heckling in the crowd.
Something great has happened. Love is taking hold. It won't let go of us now.
Something here is calling us forward upward motion. We're drops in one ocean. Roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Let me dream to the highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts for the world is waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Oh, yeah. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing. Feel your passion, blazing and shine. Yeah. Paint with every vision, dance in new direction, explore the new heights in your mind. creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Let's stand.
You all sounded lovely. Well, that's a mouthful, I'll tell you, learning a new song. You guys are amazing. I love that everybody's joining in. So this is the time where I want to welcome everyone that's here. Is there anybody here that's here for the first time? Hello, what's your name?
My name's Therese.
Therese, thank you so much for coming. You came with
My mom.
your mom. Oh, I know you guys.
This is my
Fourth time. Well, you're so lucky to have your mom bring you here this morning. And us too. So, we're a mighty crowd today, small but mighty. So, what I want to do now is tell a little bit about the Amani Center. We're something that's growing new every day. We're opening up to expanding new possibilities, building awareness of community, doing our own journey with our sacred self, and passing this on wherever we might be able to. We do this through classes, through Sunday service, through greeting and meeting each other in all our celebrations. We do lots of different celebrating. Today we're celebrating Easter Sunday. And we're in community with a whole world who has their own sacred journey. And so this is our vision statement. And if you would, I'd like us all to say it together.
Lighting the path to peace together. Spirit of mind treatment practitioners. No, talk about it.
Talk about it. So I haven't done this part for a very, very long time. I'm thinking any kind of coaching I can get. So I want to talk to you about our practitioners. Those are people who give service to the community by holding the truth about life in their own hearts. And this is not just something they do lightly. It's a sacred service. And included in that is our spiritual mind treatment that are known as affirmative prayer. In most cultures, it's called prayer. So after the service, you can go and be with a practitioner. Who's practitioners here today? Okay. You can tap them on the shoulder and ask for a prayer. They love to do it. They love to do it for themselves and for you. And Kathy will be up here, and anyone else. No, that's not an easy thing to say, hey, will you do prayer with me? But this is the way we do community. We open our hearts to one another and the divine within each us, and we let it lead the way. So please, avail yourself of this opportunity. It's also available to you through our community webpage. Okay, that means Marcy's turn, and she does this much better.
Thank you, Reverend Chair. All right, so I'm going to go through our announcements. And so here's our April schedule. So things got a little bit mixed up because Mitch is going through some stuff with his body temple, and so Reverend Sherry has stepped up today, so we get a double dose of the wonderful Reverend Sherry. It's always a pleasure. Our theme is Living from Our Center, which is an awesome theme for the month. And Next slide, please. All right, so today is Easter Sunday. So we have our kids program going on down at the Montessori right now. They're doing an Easter egg hunt and they're having a great time. We have potluck today, so please stay. Even if you didn't remember to bring something, I think there's plenty of food and we have community. We have a beautiful day on the patio after a lot of rain. So stay and break bread together and let's enjoy Easter and just enjoy the day. And then Earth Day is this Friday, the 22nd. And so our wonderful board member, Kelly Webb, who is now in South Dakota, but continuing to support the center, has been doing this Earth Day Qigong class at 12 noon on Earth Day. It'll be via Facebook Live and possibly Zoom. There's a link to sign up for that, so join us for that. It's lovely. I've done this with her virtually. It's still wonderful. It's a wonderful experience. It's her gift to the center. Donations, as always, are gratefully accepted, but do join us on Friday at noon for Qigong. And then Friday evening, we have our surprise movie night. So it turns out if you advertise what you're playing, then there's copyright issues, but if you don't tell, then there'll be a fun, family-friendly movie on Friday night here. The 22nd, 6:30 to 8:30. You can come and just be in community. You don't have to watch the movie. You can sit out on the patio. We can have a fire going. It's just a chance to get together and be with each other in community. So do show up for that. And then on the 24th, so that is next, is that next Sunday?
Yes, it's next Sunday.
Okay, this is Mitch's, ministerial intern Mitch Austin's workshop, Empowered Communication Strategies for Spiritual People. So this will be very powerful. Mitch does amazing workshops. So please do stay for this. After service, you can sign up on our website at theamanicenter.org. And if you want more information, just reach out to admin@theamanicenter.com. And what else do we have? Sometimes our slides get stuck. Wisdom Wednesdays are back. So we're bringing that back with the good weather. We're going to do that once a month. It will be the last Wednesday of every month. We'll do it on the patio as long as the weather is cooperating. The Circle of Light will be presenting it. It's going to be very organic. It will have some rituals, some chance to participate, maybe some readings, just a chance to come together and sort of bring that sacredness to a Wednesday. So first one, as we're coming back, will be the 27th, and I'll be leading that right here on our patio or inside if the weather doesn't cooperate. So please join us for that. And then just a reminder that two things. We're moving our Sunday Fun Days to the first Sunday of the month. So this is going to be our first speaker on May 1st, and that is Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson. Did everyone see him last time he was here last year? It was virtual, but he is a wonderful speaker. He is engaging and humorous and wise, and I guarantee you will enjoy his presentation. And then the wonderful Amy Bishop, who is an awesome, awesome singer-songwriter, performer. And so they will be here virtually, but we will be here in the space. So come, we'll do all of the other portions in person, and we'll just watch the video for their portion. It will still be very powerful and just a great way to be together. We'll have our kids program. We're moving that back to the first Sunday of every month, and we'll have our potluck. So that's May 1st, so do join us for that. All right, I'm going to call Reverend Sherry back up to bless the service.
So I'm inviting you to do this with me, intentionally, in your own hearts. So if you just want to close your eyes for a moment and anchor into that place within you where the divine presence resides. That is unfamiliar to you, just go to your place where you feel safe and secure. Now, as we commune today with this divine presence within each one of us, we recognize that we are connected to all beings, all things, all places, all timelines. There is no place that we can be where this presence doesn't reside. And so we call upon this part of us to bless not only this service at the Amani Center, but all those dear ones that you hold in your heart who may be here or have moved on to the other side. We send out this blessing to the whole of humanity everywhere, in all faiths and traditions, in all ways that people commune with the divine presence in them. We send this blessing of light, love, peace, and wisdom on a journey of compassion to those that are suffering. We know that there is a light within them, and we send this blessing to ignite the light in all beings so that we may see the truth of each other. We know that love prevails and blesses everything. And with gratitude, we know this is done, and together we say,
And so it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Kathy Wilson. I am the practitioner of the day, and we are going to now do the affirmation. The affirmation is done 3 times, once with enthusiasm and joy, the second time quietly, the third time, please be silent as I speak the words. Let us begin.
I perceive the divine Christ light
in me that is my source.
I trust my source to provide all my needs and desires. I perceive the divine Christ light in me that is my source. I trust my source to provide all my needs and desires.
I perceive the divine Christ light in me that is my source. I trust my source to provide all my needs and desires. Brought to us by the magnificent Reverend Sherry Wynne. And now we have a wonderful song by our wonderful Amani group.
God in me beholds the God in me. Namaste. God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful. All is well. All is beautiful. All is well. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful. All is well. All is beautiful. All is well. All is beautiful. All is well. All is beautiful. All is well.
And so we stay in this sacred space, this space where we connect with our divine source, that Christ consciousness. It has many names: God, nature, science, Buddha, Allah. Whatever it's called, there is only one. And so we go into this healing meditation time. I ask you to bring to mind a person, a situation, an issue that is needing some healing today and going forward. Bring that person's situation or issue to your mind. Gently holding it in your hands and bring it to your heart. Loving it, cherishing it, nurturing it. Like the river that flows and the rain that falls. Surround it in perfect light. Enjoy your meditation. Continuing in this space, we know that there is one divine source, the source of all life. And this source manifests in each and every one of us, guiding, directing, supporting, loving. It gives us strength and courage. It gives us wisdom and understanding. Our intuition with the divine source is powerful. And I absolutely know this to be true. As it is true for me, so it is true for all of us. And in this moment, in this here and now, we are absolutely connected. Connected in love, connected in spirit, connected in that Christ consciousness that imbues us with compassion, intelligence, understanding, peace of mind and body. For there is no place where God is not. And God is more powerful than any condition, any situation, any fear or doubt. It is the great I am. As we are, also I am. And for this I'm eternally grateful. So filled with the love and the experience of God. I release my word into the universal law, knowing it is so. And together we say, and so it is.
Is that us now?
Yes, it is.
No. I was just in a place. Okay.
Take us with you.
Here we go.
And now ascension.
Oh, goodness me. When I was a boy, dream, Sunday you would go to church. say that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red bird. It was shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head, 'cause I remember when church last. My, how things have changed since then, 'cause everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second rain handing down. I walk the river there, 'cause everything is holy now. It's holy now.
Blessed be our ascension.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here this morning and to be in your company. That you decided to come no matter where you were or what you were doing and bring your beautiful energy to this place. That is a holy event. We see here all the empty chairs, all the space that's here. I want you to, for a moment, open your hearts up and your minds to filling this place to the brim with all the people you love, all the people in your life that aren't here, all the people that you wish were here, and know that we can celebrate together even when they're not in physical form. So just do that for a moment. Bring all your people in. And especially those that maybe have crossed over and appear not to be here. But that's not true. Even though we don't have the eyes to see them, they're still here. They're just in another energy field. So this morning, my dear friend who is here, thank you, Mitch, for coming. Thank you for being here. You know, this is what's wonderful about this community, that we help each other up when things are difficult. We stand and celebrate with each other when we're having a great time. We deal with difficult subjects. We don't run away from the circumstances that maybe are challenging us at that time. We stay open in our hearts because we want to be the representatives of how life works when we surrender to a power that is greater than us, that lives in us and through us. And so I chose the topic, or it chose me, Christ light. And I'll tell you what, it's been a challenge for me to go back in and pick up the pieces of what I used to believe as a spiritual being and try and find a place for them. Because I've changed a lot. And there's a lot of ideas that I had in the past that served me when I lived in that place, but have now they've transformed into something different. And one of the things that I know is I have to wait and be patient till what it is wants to show up in my life. And that's different for me. I remember when I first came into this community back in the 70s, late 70s, into the science of mind, religious science. And I was in classes learning how to pray. And for me, prayer had always sort of been a conversation with Jesus Christ, God. Had a conversation. And it showed up for me. Showed up for me in church on Sunday, when I sang in the choir, when I was out in nature, when I was with my family, when my little dog was going to be put to sleep and I was in the bathroom all night saying, Mama, don't put the dog down. And I turned on the water faucets and the steam, and I prayed and cried all night that my little dog would be saved, and she was. And in that time, over my lifetime, I have prayed in very many different ways. So I know that when I came into this, I had to learn how to say that God is and Spirit is, and it lives in me, and I'm that too. And that was, wow, that was big. It was more than my ego could even comprehend. It was something beyond me. But when I was in the prayer, in the state of praying and conversation, it was there. It's the thing that moved me to ask. It's the thing that opened up when my heart was broken. It was the thing that showed up and saved me from myself when I was out of principle, out of order. It healed my children and my friends. It helped me to let go of the people that I loved and was so attached to that left and went to the other side and left me here by myself. It helped me in my desperation and my grief and all the ways that I felt like I wasn't going to make it and I didn't want to be here anymore because the pain was too much. We've all been there. That's part of the human dance that we do. It's what we came to experience, to soften that heart, to let that ego have a place that is not so predominant in our minds, to look at ourselves in a way when the Christ comes through and to us, and we look at that place in us that seems unforgivable. We have to forgive ourselves, because how would we ever forgive another? How could we forgive somebody else when we are holding against ourselves our mishaps through ignorance? It's through ignorance, because when we wake up, we know things differently, because the Christ in us prepares a way for us in our own hearts to see better, to know things more in tune with life. Easter Sunday was fun for me as a little kid. I got a new dress, and so did my sisters. And we all got dressed up, and we paraded around, and we showed our daddy, and we all went to church, and we sang in the choir, and we sang, and all the mamas and the daddies and the kids were there, and they brought food, and there was just this wonderful celebration, and the minister talked about God, which was one of my favorite subjects. Talked about Jesus, who seemed bigger than life to me. There were a lot of concepts along the way that I was told that there was some part of me that just went, nah, that's not it. We're going to go to hell. Oh no, that isn't it. My friend down the street doesn't belong because she has a different faith. Oh no, that's not it. And quietly inside myself, I just sort of picked and choose. Did you do that through your life?
Yeah.
That's good, that's not so good, I want this. I feel like I'm an eclectic spiritual being. You know, I'm going to pick and choose what it is. And I didn't ever do very well when they said, this is the only way it is. The back of my hair would just stand up. And I'd go, I don't know, that's okay for you, but that doesn't fit for me. And so that's how we learn to trust our own inner guidance, that Christ inside us. Isn't it true that when we pray, sometimes the prayer shows up very differently than our expectations? And don't we understand that it's just so perfectly designed for us? To me, that gives credence to the idea of the vastness of what we name God or Spirit or Allah is, because it has this way of putting all the pieces together so it lands up in our lives, sometimes to teach us how to let go, sometimes to show us how loved we are, sometimes to help us to have faith that this too shall pass. So I believe that that is what the Christ is. It is that whole self that God has incarnated in us to find a way to. It doesn't enforce itself on us. We must welcome it, ask for it, even some days be humbled by it. I think that coming here in this physical place, being a human being, is a process of self-discovery. And that self-discovery opens up in our age in very different ways. Self-discovery for a little child, they don't even know what that is, they just are it. They cry when they hunger. They laugh when they're happy. They say things out of order because they're so real. And then as we grow, that self-discovery takes on what our world has to share with it. And sometimes what the world shares with us is half a cup. It's vacant something. It might have a bitter taste in it. Think about when we were kids in school and all we wanted to do is be loved and belong and feel safe enough to be ourselves. And join something where our peers then were happy for us to be here. And that always wasn't the case. And as we grew and we took on more of our cultures, we begin to dampen down that bright innocence in us. Sort of got put away while we got busy doing, being, getting, having. And we did that for a while till we had all this stuff, and then we woke up and went, gee, I've got a lot of stuff, but it takes so much responsibility to take care of them. All these bills and these pressures and these timelines, and we rush to keep up. And then I fell apart a number of times. Many times was I down on the ground. Some of that happened while I was raising a family and I still had to get up and go and do while I was not so well. But then there would be times when through the darkness and the clouds, the light would come on. just like Ascension was talking about, everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. And see, the divine in us knows how to bring the miracle for us, just perfectly for us. Not someone else's version, but ours. And when that happens, don't you just want to go out and share it? And then I found that, gee, that could be a lonely prospect. Because what I was sharing wasn't in their cup. Being on a spiritual path for me has had a degree of exhilaration and brilliance and ecstasy and loneliness. Alone with my own self when I just want to share it with somebody else. And I didn't know how to do that with others because I had something that I wanted them to see and maybe they didn't have eyes to see. They didn't understand me. They would pat me on the head. Oh, you're a little strange. I'll pray for you. And then I had to have the willingness to find a way to be in that and love them, because what would happen when I would be rejected by that, my ego would come in. My ego would come in and have something to say about them and this and that and everything. And I had to learn how to set that aside and just be okay with whoever was in my field. Because this is what I know. When I pray, whatever it is that happens on that day is the answer. That's the answer. And we have to have a willingness to bless that, whatever it is, whatever shows up. That was wonderful. I did a lot of reading. I had my whole living room. I got to do a sermon. I don't want to talk about what's going to happen. I've got out all this metaphysical stuff and some channel things and just reading all this stuff, trying to find a way to talk about the resurrection. Holy moly, that's a big subject. It's like there's so many opinions from people about what that really was. And each person's take on it is designed from what it is that they were experiencing. What they came to understand is true. Is that different? Yes. Does it mean what people experience and what their perceptions are wrong when they're different? No. It means that we perceive in different frequencies. We perceive reality from our own self. And so we love to be with others where they get what we're talking about. I think that's why being led to be in spiritual community, God said, go here, do this, be in this community. They'll help you to find your place, to get out of your own worthiness, out of your unworthiness of not fitting in. They'll help you to see that when you're bruised and broken, that you're still lovable. They'll help you to see that the thing that you need, Sherry, to forgive in yourself is your inability to wholly love yourself. See, that's what happens in the world. We go out into the world and we collect all these things, and then when we have these brilliant experiences of the divine through us, it shines the light on that which we have stuffed and put away, and now here it is. Can you love that? Can you be okay with that? Is that all right for you to be with? So it humbles us through my readings the other day, and I came across some readings about Christ and what was happening in him when he was going through the process of facing his death. And I talked about praying, and praying in this particular place. They talked about praying on your knees, and talked about the chakras in the knees, that they open up when we kneel on them. And I thought, I'd never heard that before. And then I tried to do it. I might need some practice in this body. It was like, I'll try that. I'll do anything to open up to the divine. Okay, let's have this. Oh, that didn't work. Let's go over here and do this. Oh, that. Sometimes I just need to get still enough while all this information is flooding me. Have you ever had that happen? Where you're just flooded with so much divine light and so much energy, it's like, oh, take a breath. So resurrection, according to Christianity, even when I went in to look at the word resurrection, it didn't even happen until that happened. Until it became chronicled through the religious sects. This is a word now, and this is what it means. Isn't that interesting? How that now is, and people follow that and they have an idea of what that is. I believe that Christ went through many incarnations in order to become what some call is the God-man. In other words, to become fully realized of the truth of his own being, that he is the light, that he is that. When he says, I go to be with my Father, it means I let go of all that personality and I become merged in this presence, and it lives through me. And so when it says you can't do anything without that connection, that means that you too can do this. Follow my lead. And whether it was, people say it's a myth, it's a story. Well, it's a pretty good story to have lasted this long and impacted so many beings. And that's just in this culture. There are other Christed ones in other cultures that bring a message of the same thing. And so on this day of celebration of the Christ who, I believe, had complete control of his physical atoms, the whole of his physical being. And there are others who have done that, and we can find that in the recordings of it. And it's not that we can't do it, but we're maybe a little distant from that and still need to evolve to the place where we can even comprehend the possibility that it could happen through us. And I think this is where we have to be brave. We have to risk the stories in our heads. We have to risk it to throw ourselves with abandon into the void and go, I'm here, do it through me. And I think that is the resurrection. The process of abandoning the old news and letting the Christ in us heal us, grow us, love through us. And we all have that. And so, close your eyes a minute. Let my words be yours. I trust that what governs my life is the omnipresent Christ in me, always bringing me into harmony and union with the divine presence in all life. And so it is.
So it is.
Blessed be.
I'm just going to use this. Okay, so now it's time for our joyful time of giving. And so this is our opportunity to support the Amani Center with our tithes, with our gifts, to help to keep the doors open, pay the lease payments, do everything we need to do to stay here and be able to keep showing up and living our purpose here on the planet. And so, looks like our slides are not working right now, but there are a number of ways that you can give to the Amani Center and when you're not in the space. So you can text the word Amani to 44321, is that right? I need to check the slide. You can go to our website and we have a donate now button. You can also go to all of our emails, all of our e-blasts that come out will have a donate now button, so check for those. If you're not getting our emails and our e-blasts, then go to the AmaniCenter.org and sign up for those, because that's how you stay informed about what's coming up and who's speaking and what events are happening. So however you decide to give, we're just so grateful for you. We truly cannot do it without the support of the community. So thank you so much for that. And now I'm going to turn it over to our practitioner of the day, Kathy, to do our treatment, and we will move forward. Yeah, to do the treatment and then receive the tithes. Do you want to send it? And then leave it off with it.
So we are blessed at this time. It is the time of giving. It is a time of celebration. Thank you, Reverend Sherry, for your wonderful talk. I heard it live and well. Yay. So let's drop down into that wonderful space, that space where the divine always is present. It is the energy of love. And tithing is just one small part of that big, huge love. But it's an important part. And so we give with an open heart whatever is possible, knowing that we live in an abundant, endless possibility universe. So if the ushers would just come forward and do the tithe, knowing that this gift allows us to do what we are meant to do, to bring us to that purpose that each and every one of us has. Ascension, do you want to put some music on it?
Great. We're grateful for gratitude. Holy Mother, Father, God, thank you for your healing love. Holy sacred light divine, thank you for this life of mine. Here I go. I am grateful for the air I breathe. I am grateful for the life in me.
these ties knowing that the energy and the love behind each and every tithe is magnificent and prosperous and ever, ever expanding. And I know that this is the way it is. And together we say,
And so it is.
So, is this where we all stand?
Do we have kids?
We no little ones, huh?
I think one little child, that's what I heard.
No little one.
No little ones.
Okay.
So, gratitude to Monica who did the work for the kids today. And so if we'll all stand and sing The Presence is Here.
The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. And I will meet you in grace.
And let's have that meeting be in the very center of your heart where the Christ light shines. Take it with you. And so it is.
So it is.